So this is a tidal streams chart. And what it does, somebody's plotted it for every hour of the tidal cycle, which is 13 pieces of chart. They're all separated. Now the convention is, in Britain, all of these are done to Dover. Now Dover's 150, 200 miles drive away. It's irrelevant. So what we do is work out the time that high tide is in Dover. Tomorrow, the high tide in Dover is at 4:30 in the afternoon. So at 4:30 in the afternoon, when it's high tide in Dover, this is what's happening on the Menai Straits. So I can go backwards from there. That's at 3:30, that's what's happening. At 2:30, that's good. If I go back 1:30, 12:30, 11:30, 10:30. So if we got up there for 10:30, the tide is moving from west to east, and we can go with the tide. The wind is going from the west to the east, so we would have tide and wind combined pushing us up the straits. We might even be able to start at Caernarfon Castle, which is one of King Edward's castles, to keep the Welsh in check after he'd conquered Wales. So we're talking about 1300 or whatever, 12 something or other. That was built spectacular. So we could go with wind and tide up the straits. The size of these arrows give an indication of how strong the tide is. In between two bridges, the Britannia Bridge and the Menai Bridge, which is another Telford construction, the tide runs really strongly. Now, it doesn't run at 25 mile an hour and 30 mile an hour. The convention is these are our tenths of a knot. So that's 2.5 knots, which is 5 kilometers an hour. That's 5 knots, which is 10 kilometers an hour. So that gives you the speed of the tide running through there. So it's like a huge volume river, and we get eddies and boils and places that Canadians get swallowed and eaten. I'm sorry, that people could... and the tide is just increasing. Look, it's going up to 55. Oh, now it's dropping. Now it's dropping. So I can run through. So rather than have to work all this out, as long as I work out the time of tide at Dover, and then say, well, Dover is 4:30 in the afternoon, I can just work either way from that to give me the directions. I don't have to think about it. This tells me exactly what's happening every hour in relation to Dover. Simples.
Simples. Yeah. Where I am in Ontario, my buddy and I just call each other. Yeah, you want to go canoeing tomorrow? Yeah, good. Pick you up.
Is in a stream. The ocean called for you and me.
Well, look at my outfit. Top's coming up soon because we're going out Menai Strait. I smell the salt water. We're going with the wind and with the tide if we get in there in time. This is new, but he did promise me a castle. Ray Goodwin said you will see a castle on the Menai Strait paddle.
Yeah, finally got Kevin into his dry suit the correct way around this time,
Yeah.
and made him zip up the back of it.
I know. I didn't even know you'd have to get zipped
Dear,
up.
oh bloody dear. It wasn't a dry suit until it was zipped up, Kevin.
I feel like a condom. We're zipping up. We're zipping up.
I've got 3 clips to go.
Looking good. Salty. So we passed the castle. Lizzie wanted to attack it. I forgot my battering ram, so we decided not to. There is the other group. There they are there.
Oh, you're on camera, Maya.
Oh no.
Oh no, you're on camera, Ken. Actually, the camera's not on. I just figured if I held this up, then Lizzie would just paddle the rest of the way. I see you're doing a lot of good paddling there, Maya. I know, you got a sweat in your brow.
Yeah.
She's using the power of positive thoughts.
Yeah.
It's going to be a positive.
Oh, salt water in the eye. That's got to sting. Well, Maya asked me what all the bubbles and suds were, this line through the water here, and I said that I had just gone pee overboard. What are we passing?
We're passing the starboard buoy, which is why it's green. And then that marks one edge of the deep channel. But the channel is over that way.
So that's opposite to Canada and the United States, right?
Yeah, the Canada, the United States, Mexico and Japan, there's two systems of buoyage, System A, System B. We're on one system, North America and Japan is on the other system.
So,
And their buoyage colours are reversed on our buoyage colours. So if you're sailing a ship across the ocean, you need to know that. For a canoe, it doesn't make a lot of difference here. If this was busy, we use the marker to stay out of the channel because we don't need much depth. And so all the boats that will cause us trouble will be in the channel. So that green marks one edge. We'll see some reds up here. We'll see some other buoys marking the channel.
Ray, why isn't there any girls? Why is it just boys?
It is felt to be really cruel anchoring girls out in the sea by their
There's
feet.
already mermaids
So we wanted
there
to do
anyway.
it as boys. But in North America and the Netherlands, they pronounce it buoy. So the English at one time, the British would have called it a buoy at one time. Pronunciations changed. It's now a buoy.
Okay, so here's the thing. We're going with the tide and the wind, but the wind calmed down, and we just have the tide right now. If we don't get there in time, something supposedly bad is going to happen. Because they're like, we got to make the time. We got to go. And then all of a sudden, Lizzie's a very calm person, but she just sort of, oh, the wind's died. Just an observation, Gavin. I mean, stop filming and paddle. Hey, Lizzie.
Hey.
Yeah, how's that cloud doing behind us?
Oh, I think it's gaining on us. It's coming along now. Yeah,
Is that just an observation?
just an observation. There we go. Brooding evil presence.
It's a good thing we're not on the ocean.
Oh, it's highly lucky that we're not on the ocean or anything like that.
Welcome to Wales. Lizzie,
Yeah,
what are we eating again?
we're eating oggies. And they were the favourite lunch of people like quarry workers and lead mine workers, because it's not all about the pastry. It looks like a carb overload. So you hold it by the crust, and it's all about the middle bit, which you kind of eat, and then you can feed the crust to the fishes.
Really?
Yeah, so that's what these are about. Yeah.
It is good. And you know, I just remembered, my partner Christine hates watching videos where people are chewing, and I just chewed through the whole thing. So
no.
let's just say she's not going to watch this video.
Wait for Justine. Nom.
Yeah, this is for you, Christine. Oh, wait a minute! I need a little bit of salt on it.
Oh, yeah, sprinkle.
Oh boy. Weather's changed a bit. Just a little bit. Wee bit.
Yeah, the evil cloud caught up with us.
The evil cloud caught up to us. That's an observation.
It is.
Hey Lizzie, can you explain that tidal thing we were talking about? The waves?
Okay, so we've been paddling through a bit of a swell, some lumpy bits. The wind's blown up to maybe top end of force 4, getting on with gusts of 5, and the Menai Straits just goes out onto the sea, and the wind, so today it's aligned perfectly with the Menai Straits, so it's funneling the wind through the straits, and the fetch is enormous, the distance that wind's travelled over water, so that not massive amount of wind picked up quite a swell there, so it was a bit sporting. I could tell you just can't get enough of it, Kevin. We can
Oh yeah,
into it
yeah.
again.
Keep going. We're going upstream now because the tide has changed. All right, we're almost done, but we're going up against the tide right now. So we have to follow all the eddies in, and the one big one is at the last bridge, but our car is right around it. So we'll see what happens. What happened?
Well, we were a bit late starting the trip, so we're a bit late finishing it, and the tide obviously has turned, as you can see, coming under the bridge, and we know our limits, so we're not going to paddle up this, we're going to go and get a coffee. It's probably the best idea. Yes. Right. Come on, we'll give you a hand to get these boats out. It's absolutely beautiful.
We gotta go. No time for filming on this trip. Okay, you do know that we're in some alleyway.
Like hobos.
Yep. What town are we in?
We're in Menai Bridge.
So this is an average day in Wales. You start in the ocean. You go up straight. You miss the tide. And it becomes a very late day. Coffee! Oh, Lizzie brought coffee in a thermos. Love you.
Okay. Ray's about to strip.
Oh,
Morning.
wait, we're leaving. Ray's about to declothe, so we've left. Trip is over. Day's over. Fantastic time. A little wet, a little scary, but it was over. But the worst part of the whole entire day is taking this thing off. How do you actually go like that? Oh, it just goes like that? Oh, the car's coming down the alley.
Run over.
Oh, hope they don't look at me. I'm dressing. Woo. Okay.
You're frightening the dogs.
Okay. I'm dry.
Is that your first time ever wearing a dry
I've
suit?
never worn one before in my entire life.
You've done well with all the canoeing you've done.
Oh, shoot, I got my dry boots in the car. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, schoolboy error.
What did he do?
He's forgotten his dry boots to step into. So get wet feet.
Okay.
Yeah, just watch the socks on the
Yeah, don't try not to walk around in the dry suit because the dry suit's feet are quite vulnerable.
Oh, okay.
So this is the dry suit
Wait a
dance where you have to somehow
You could do it, Kevin.
transfer from the dry suit into a shoe without getting your foot wet or making
ruining everything.
or making a hole in Ray's dry suit sock.
Put any pressure on me. It's been a long day.
Have you not learned we do this?
Okay.
It's a very normal occurrence to, also there's a car behind you. Kevin, there's a car, hurry up!
What?
He's all right. He's just gonna hop and hobble.
You can... Go, Kevin!
It's like lava floor. Lava floor.
You can't get any help.
And people are watching and wondering why we're not helping this poor man with his dry suit. Just
It took you 10 minutes, but you did it.
It's got a bit of smell to it.